Keith, one-time Thurman, you better not duck me, Thun. Takes a jab at the truth, Errol Spence Jr. Stay tuned. Boxingego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. 1. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button and hit the subscribe button if you're new for the latest and greatest in boxing. Hit the bell notification if you want to get and join and become part of the notification squad. Now, I'm on Keith Thurman, his verified Instagram account. He posted a picture of him in his clash with Leonard Bundu. He hurt Bundu in the first, went the distance, but he clearly won pretty much every single round. It just wasn't, to me, his sharpest performance because Bundu was tricky and he's an Olympian. But Keith Thurman took a slight and subtle jab at Errol Spence Jr. Let's see what he said. Keith one-time Thurman says in his caption, "My man Bundu knows what time it is. One time." And he quotes what Bundu said. I made a video about this, but Bundu did a recent interview, and I believe I did the video the day of the Errol Spence Jr. Kell Brook weigh-in, and the video's on the channel if you want to familiarize yourself. But here's some cliff notes. Bundu said, Keith Thurman is almost complete. He can box very well. He's a big puncher, and he's a little bit faster. I would favor him over Spence. Quote, Leonard Bundu. So, obviously, if you are posting this, you're basically believing in your abilities and your skill set, as you should, and you're putting it out there. I mean, he posted this for a reason, so people would see, like, you know it, one time. Because he said Leonard Bundu knows what's up. Now, if you guys actually go to the article and read, Bundu said it was a lot more. That's just pull quotes from what he said, but he actually said a lot more. He said things like Thurman basically hit significantly harder, and I felt a lot more explosive impact when I was fighting Thurman. He says, like, even arm punches and stuff like that, you feel it. It's like a thud. He says Spence can crack, but Thurman was just like more explosive. And I think he said he was also harder to hit than Errol Spence Jr. So I'm telling you, man, I did a live stream with Troy King. Check it out on the channel. This is the fight that's brewing for me. Obviously, I want to see Canelo versus Triple G, but there's two fights that are really sounding appetizing to me. One of them is Keith Thurman versus Errol Spence Jr. and Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder. Those, a lot of people ask me on Monday Mail Day, what fight do you want to see and what fan? Those are probably two of the best fights that I want to see. And I see them marinating, I see them brewing, and hopefully we get them. I don't think it'll happen this year. Keith Thurman obviously is injured at the moment, so I mean, it wouldn't be realistic to expect him to come back and for a third time. And see, this is the thing, I'm a realistic boxing fan. I told you guys I would probably favor Errol Spence Jr. in a very competitive fight. It's no walk in the park, but I'm a realist, and Keith Thurman deserves respect. He has more belts than anybody at welterweight, and at the end of the day, I wouldn't expect him to come back and fight Errol Spence Jr. because that is not necessarily realistic. Not that he doesn't have a shot, but he's coming off injury. And if you look at his last two tests, he stepped up to the plate and fought Sean Porter, who is a very gamey former champion, who no one really has an easy night with him based on his style. He's really rugged. You seen Berto got in there, someone who's sparred with Thurman, knows Thurman very well. And Berto just really couldn't get off, and he was getting frustrated with the head clashes, stuff like that. And then after he fought Danny Garcia this year in March in a unification, didn't complain about his elbow injury or whatever was nagging him, and he came out very fast. He was like blitzing Danny Garcia, and it took Danny Garcia. I'd never seen Danny Garcia struggle that much to get his timing down and have that. He appeared gun shy to me, and it wasn't until the Keith Thurman kind of started to retreat and use his legs a lot more that Danny Garcia was even close to being in the fight. You know what I mean? He clearly wasn't getting off like when he fought Lucas Matisse or even Amir Khan. And I think the reason is because, this is just my opinion, I think Amir Khan, although he was blasting him with speed, like eesh, it was speed that he could, well, not speed, but it was power that he could deal with. But I think Keith Thurman, having speed but also explosive power, he was gun shy. He didn't want to make no mistakes because he felt that in round 1. And he just has a good chin. Danny Garcia has a hell of a chin. But Thurman Spence, man, you guys drop your thoughts. This is a fight that's brewing, and I can't wait. And I hope it does come off. And most importantly, they're both champions now. So why not fight? You know what I mean? This is unification. The only person that's a champion at welterweight that I can't see really fighting is Manny Pacquiao. Because one, people like dumb fans are giving him an excuse because he's a legend, so he never has to fight anybody. You know what I'm saying? He's proven all he's have to prove. I don't believe in that, because if you prove all you need to prove to the point where you have to fight Jeff Horn for like a farewell tour, then drop your belt. You know what I'm saying? Let somebody else. Who else is? I'm trying to think of someone. Let Luis Collazo. You know what I mean? A person like that who's just been in the game, doesn't complain, puts his work in. You know what I mean? Let him and Sean Porter scrap for the belt. Or let Danny Garcia and Sean Porter scrap for that WBO belt, or somebody else like that has showed the level of hunger that they want to compete, and they're still youthful or whatever. But you can't tie up a belt, have the bullseye in your back, and say, oh, he's a legend. He has nothing to prove. You know what I mean? Only in boxing do you have fans that say the dumbass shit that they say. You know what I mean? If you look at Dale Earnhardt Jr., who I believe just retired, like he's already done won NASCAR events and stuff like that. So if he felt he's at a point where he has nothing else to prove, or Tiger Woods or whoever, you know what I mean, whatever sport. Peyton Manning, perfect example. Peyton Manning won him a Super Bowl ring. What did he do after he retired? He's like, oh, man, I did it all. I got a new ring with the new team, and I'm feeling good. I'm 40 years old. Let's retire. But in boxing, Cotto could fight Kamagai because he has nothing to prove. Pacquiao could fight Horn, even though he's a champion, because he has nothing to prove. I don't like the Cotto Kamagai fight, but at least he's coming off of a long layoff, and he hasn't fought since the Canelo loss. So I guess you could say it's a tune-up fight, even though it's not a fight I really care about. Pacquiao's a champion, so, you know what I mean? Shout out to these youthful guys, the Errol Spences and the Keith Thurmans, because it looks like they really want to work on their legacy and make their mark, and I respect that. And like the movie No Country for Old Men, if you can't compete, and another reason I know this is bullshit is because people expect Floyd Mayweather at age 40, he's older than Pacquiao. They told him to fight Golovkin, or he has to fight Sergio Martinez when he was popping, or whatever lively threat. But Pacquiao's not held to that same standard. Or even worse, Bernard Hopkins is older than all these dudes. He's 51, and he went out like a G. Fought Joe Smith Jr., fought Kovalev. You know what I mean? Why didn't people say, oh, B-Hop, you're too old. You don't have to prove, you don't have to fight Kovalev. You have nothing to prove. You've been in with Roy Jones, you beat Roy Jones, you beat Oscar De La Hoya, nothing to prove, man. See, it only works for who you want it to work for, which is a double standard. Shout out to Keith Thurman and Errol Spence for trying to pave the way and really buckle down and get to the point where these fights are legacy fights. My thoughts. Let me know what you guys think. Drop it in the comment section. Make sure you share the video, like the video as always, hate, comment, and subscribe. To the next video is Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxingego, the future of boxing.